welcome everybody. My name is Katrina Tso, and I'm an application scientist for CID Bio-Science and its sister company, Felix Instruments Applied Food Science. And I'm here to talk to you today about plant physiology instruments and what they can do for you. First, a little bit of background about our company. We're headquartered just north of here in Camas, Washington. CID Bio-Science instruments are represented by distributors in 44 countries. We've been designing and manufacturing scientific instruments for agricultural and environmental plant research for 30 years. Our company was established in 1989 with the introduction of our state-of-the-art handheld photosynthesis system. Since that time, we've expanded our line to include 13 instruments. In 2012, we founded our subsidiary company, Felix Instruments Applied Food Science, to put our decades of experience engineering plant science tools to work for the commercial agriculture sector. So now I'm going to give you a brief introduction to our instruments that you may find useful in your insect-related research and management practices. We will begin with the CI 110 Prime Plant Canopy Imager, which was recently redesigned to be more ergonomic and user-friendly, hence the Prime. So what does the CI 110 Plant Canopy Imager do exactly? Among other metrics, it calculates canopy density and leaf area index, which are both commonly used plant and ecological health indicators. Unique to our instrument is that leaf area index is calculated in two different independent ways. One based on PAR, or photosynthetically active radiation, and the other based on a methodology called gap fraction, which relies on hemispherical photography. So, how can this instrument be applied to insect-related research? Again, plant canopy metrics can be used to quantify ecological and plant health, and has actually been incorporated already in numerous insect-related research projects, including the quantification of insect-related damage in everything from small forbs to tree stands to agricultural crops. With its self-leveling wide-angle lens, its 24 PAR sensors, and optimized on-device software, the CI 110 excels at capturing plant canopy metrics of all types of vegetation and any type of lighting condition. The instrument is also highly customizable and unique to our device. You can slice and dice your hemispherical image on demand and quantify only the portion of that image that you so desire in the field with just a few simple clicks. When you wrap it up in the field, the data is seamlessly downloaded to a computer via USB or Wi-Fi, and it downloads in a very simple CSV format, making the jump from data collection to data analysis quite simple. Okay, now we'll dive underground with our CI 600 and 602 in situ root imagers. Why study roots? For the obvious reasons that roots are fundamentally critical to the success of any plant overall, which you all are quite aware. But not only can you quantify damage to roots done directly by root-munching insects, you can also assess below-ground effects of topside insects, as well as study the effects of things such as insecticide applications. Side note here, the large, beautiful images of roots in this portion of the presentation were captured by these instruments. Traditionally, root research has been the drudges. Destructive mechanical methods are still quite routinely employed, which leads to the loss of most fine roots as well as a lot of important structure information. One could get away from hard manual labor for root research by working in a rhizotron lab, pictured here, which is an underground walkway with a series of root-laden viewing windows, but who has the time or money to build underground concrete-enforced bunkers for their research this day and age? Enter here the CID mini risotrons. That's the CI 600 and 602, which allows for non-destructive long-term study of living specimens. No need to rip things out by their roots anymore. Both the CI 600 and 602 are capable of taking high-resolution images at 360 degrees. These instruments allow for relatively rapid root volume, density, and structure calculations with the included software RootSnap. These instruments are made highly versatile by the fact that one mini risotron can service tens or even hundreds of root tubes, which we do have installations around the world, some of which are composed of hundreds of root tubes. And they're installed in a very wide range of habitats, including agricultural fields and even wetlands. So a little bit more detail about the two different models that we have. The CI 600 has been on the market for over 10 years. It's lightweight and it's portable, and it's powered by the included tablet computer. High-resolution images can be captured at 100, 300, or 600 dots per inch. And again, one single device can service many acrylic root tubes, which are 2.5 inches in diameter and are watertight and protected by insulated root caps when not in root tube caps when not in use. All right, the CI 602 narrow gauge root imager is nearly identical to the 600, other than a few key differences. One is that it is a narrower gauge, right? We've got the acrylic root tubes, which are 2 inches in diameter. And the scans can take resolutions of up to 1200 dpi versus the 600 dpi in the 600 model. Now for just a glimpse of the RootSnap software. On the left is a series of 3 images taken by the CI 600 on maize roots by a user in India. Using the program, the images were stitched together, so that's an image of one down the length of one root tube. And using the software, those images were stitched together. And the image to the right, you can see, is just the lower portion of that stitched together images. And you can see how many individual roots are present in a single image. And for each root colored and mapped on the software, the metrics shown to the right are calculated and recorded automatically. So on to our leaf area meters, which have actually been utilized quite extensively in entomological research, from cucumber pest management to biocontrol studies of the diamond-backed moth more recently, to the oldest study I could track down using the CID leaf area meters, which was, there we go, there at the bottom, a 1995 study that quantified the ability of a baculovirus to protect cotton plants from insect damage. So you can see these instruments have been utilized in your field for quite some time. Last but not least, I was asked to introduce our Felix Instruments handheld gas analyzers to this crowd. As you can tell from the pictures of our device, entomological research has not been this company's bread and butter. But it was brought to my attention that some of you may be interested in this device, as they are all capable of measuring the common plant hormone ethylene. Now, because we've been foolishly marketing these devices to only the post-harvest agricultural world, I could not find any publications that have used these specific devices for insect-related studies directly. However, with that said, our gas analyzers are built to measure ethylene with pinpoint accuracy. And a quick literature review shows that these ethylene and insect interactions are still quite a hot topic for research. So that's a wrap. If you have any questions or are interested in obtaining a quote, you can visit the site tinyurl.com/PNWInsect to request more information. All right, thank you.